Any teacher who, after having given instructions to their students and in accompaniment to the instruction, they have also given them a task. They have commissioned them to do certain things. They would emphatically state that you do that as instructed or in the manner of what your teacher or instructor has taught you, or in accord with the essence of your instructor, and that is that which your instructor drew from, in accord with that. And where am I getting with this? I want to talk about what is meant by in my name, in all expressions in the Bible used by the Jesus character. Does in my name in the language of the manuscript from which we only get to read translations, does the word that has been used in the manuscript refer to in my name? The Greek word used, because we do not have a Hebrew New Testament, either as a parchment or in sheepskin, or some text in Hebrew language that is epigraphically preserved. We don't have that. Now, I will give recourse to Greek because dealing with the New Testament, we have to understand that the original language, the known original language of all the writings of the New Testament is Greek. Is neither Hebrew nor Aramaic. So the word that has been used in Greek is onoma, that in our translations, English translations, Sesotho translations, and other translations, we have the word name, libitso, igama, used. But the word onoma means more than just a word that describes the identity, or that defines the identity of a particular person, or that indicates the identity of a particular person, or that gives or attaches a label to a particular person for identity purposes. So Jesus said, in my name you shall do that and so. Whatever ye shall ask the Father in my name, it will be given to you. The word onoma, beyond just meaning a name, it also means nature of, character of, word of. In the context of Jesus talking to his students, described as disciples in the Bible, it would mean in accord with what I have instructed you, what I have taught you as your master teacher. That is what in my name would mean. It does not mean when you do thus and so, you have to mention my name or you have to call out my name. So I'm talking about the inconsistency here of the translators. I don't know whether they did it fragrantly, deliberately, with intent to deceive, in order to qualify a particular doctrine. I don't know about that, but all that I know from the biblical scholars' own toolbox, you have Strong's concordance to the Bible, which assists a penetrative, dissective, and analytical reader of any piece of literature like me in order to understand, especially if that piece of literature is availed to us as translation. So the concordance by Strong breaks down original words used for certain words or expressions and what in the context of the culture which the original language used that meant. So the word onoma is not simply a name in meaning. I said it also means in the character of, in the nature of, in the manner of, in accord with particular word, particular instruction, particular authority. So, in my name, go out and preach the gospel of the kingdom did not mean go out and preach the gospel and go out and preach the gospel and of the kingdom and mention my name as you preach it. It did not mean that. So this is the limitation of relying on a text that is a mistranslation that is full of defects, and you want to use the translation authoritatively without the knowledge of the linguistics behind the original language from whence the translation that you are reading authoritatively supposedly is derived from. So there is nowhere in the Bible, at least based on the original text that was written in Greek, where Jesus commanded anyone to mention or call out his name in saying or doing anything. He simply meant say this or do this in accordance with what I have taught you, or in the manner in which I have demonstrated. The word onoma means more than just a name of a person. So I'm talking to you in Jesus' name, fanatics, in Jesus' name, freaks, in the name of Jesus, freaks. As though the expression in the name of Jesus is some magical formulation or word of power that somehow obligates the supposed higher power to accede to what you are requesting, what you are asking for. Jesus makes it clear. There are those who will be saying, on that day, in your name, we cast out demons, we perform great signs and wonders. And according to the Bible, Jesus says, no, I would say to them, I never knew you, wicked men, because you haven't done the will of the Father, which is what Jesus taught. So when Jesus said, in my name, he meant in accord with what I taught you, in the manner of my instruction, because those were based on him teaching them the will of the Father. So whatever they were to do, they were to give recourse to those teachings, and that would translate to them doing whatever they are doing in his name, with him as the authority. I mean, it even happens in the modern day context where a person in an academic paper or book would make certain assertions, would make certain claims, and the peer reviewers or critical readers would want to know who's your authority. Um, you know, um, you use to adduce evidence to the truthfulness of the assertions that you are making. In the biblical translation terms, it would mean, in whose name are you saying this? So there's nothing mystical about that expression that Jesus made, that we find in the translation if we give recourse to the linguistics of the original text, from whence our biblical translations are derived. That's what I wanted to pass through, and I have I don't have any more to say other than that.